When we first started Macatawa Technologies, it was pretty easy to remember who was in charge of what, because there were just two of us, myself and my business partner. As time went on, we started hiring employees, and like most businesses, we would write a job description and hire based on the job description. And it worked pretty well. There were only a few of us, and if we couldn't remember who was in charge of what, a quick conversation or text message or whatever could quickly answer that. However, our business coach encouraged us not to just have a job description, but to have tasks that the role is hired for. So for instance, with marketing, you might have the task listed as post to social media, update the website, send a client newsletter, or if we were hiring a tech, it might say something like manage our RMM tool, review backup alerts, go on site for support, escalation, things like that. And again, that worked pretty well. We had our tasks and job descriptions. One of the things that we ran into was when we experienced a little bit of heavier turnover during COVID in the early times there, we suddenly would have a task and it was assigned to one person, and then, oh, well, now they're gone. And then, oh, wait, who did that get assigned to? And it wasn't on all the big tasks. It was more on the smaller things that we didn't do every day. And we realized we were starting to forget. And there's this saying, faded ink is better than the best memory. So we wrote it down. And we wrote it down in Microsoft Excel. We thought that we could improve on this system, but it's actually worked pretty well. So we went through and we thought, what are the 20% of the tasks that we do 80% of the time? And we started with that. And we just wrote them all out, verifying backups, doing client updates, managing our RMM tool. And we went through and created that list. And so we had the list of what are all the tasks. And then we created the next column that said who is, or how do we actually do it? So we linked to the process because, again, we want to make sure that it's documented. So the second column was a link to the task itself. And then we had another column, the primary. So who is the primary who's responsible for this? And then a secondary, because we want to make sure there's always backup, having some redundancy here. And that's worked really well. And so we've gone through now and we have, I think, close to 200 tasks that we do on a regular basis that are all documented. Now, we've also taken that to our vendors because we have a lot of vendors that we work with. And so that's how we handle it. But I'd be curious, in your organization, how do you handle recurring tasks, or how do you remember who's in charge of what? Is it just your memory? Do you have it documented? Is there a better system? We'd love to know.